Namaste. We shall continue the topic classes and objects. In the last class, we have seen which are the different types of defining the functions in a class. One is inside the class, the other one is outside the class. Today, we shall concentrate on members of the class. Already we have done this, we shall just recall it once. Which are the members of the class? Once we define a class, we have seen the class starts like this: class, user defined name, open flower bracket, member data, access specifier we can write private. If you do not specify private, automatically it will consider it as private. Member data, member function, similarly public colon member data, member function, protected, below that protected, again we will write member data, member function. That means this member data and member function will get repeated here depending upon the requirement of the class. So when we talk about the members of the class, which are the members of the class? Here member data and member function are members of the class. 2 mark question, which are the members of a class? They are member data and member function. So what is the difference between the member data and member function? Whatever variables that we are going to define comes under member data. The functions that we are going to define comes under member function. So if you write something like int a is a variable under private, it may be private. Then while writing the function, we write public void colon void get data. Now the question is how we can differentiate a data and a function. A data, see, whenever we are coming across a function, we have these brackets. We may define this function inside the class or outside the class. If you are going to define it outside the class, here just we have a declaration and we are going to define it outside the class. Just have a note here. Always whenever we write a function, after writing this is return type, function name, arguments may be there or may not be there. If there are arguments will be written inside the bracket or just empty brackets, circular brackets. But if it's a variable, just the variable. We don't have the brackets here. We can't write something like this. If you write this bracket, it becomes a function. It can't be a variable and we will get error message. Hope that is understood. Now, so whenever we are accessing the members of the class, in the last class we have seen how to define an object for a class. How to define an object for a class? Class user defined name we have written. The same user defined name, once again I will write class user defined name, open the bracket. We will write the access specifiers here, private, public and protected. Then we will close it, semicolon we will write. Then inside the void main, it's not mandatory to define the object here, but in our programs we will do it here. Again, the first task is to create the object. What we will write? User defined name or the class name, defined name, then object name, semicolon. So the name, that is this user defined name, because this is the name of the class, the same thing we will write. That means we are going to create an object for this class. That's why whenever we are going to access the member data and member function, directly we cannot access the member data and member function. It has to be accessed with respect to the object name. That's why when we are going to access a data member or member data, it has to be written along with the object name. That's why for the member data, we are going to write it as object name dot member data. Similarly, for member function, we are going to write it as object name dot member function. Then open the bracket. I will write here, open the bracket, write the arguments here, if at all you have the arguments like this. So for the data we don't have the bracket here, but for the function we have the bracket here. If at all we have the arguments has to be written inside the bracket. Now we shall take one example, simple example, the same example that we have taken earlier, that is length and breadth, so that it becomes easy for us to understand. Let us write a class rectangle. So here in the rectangle, what we are going to do? We shall do one thing. We shall input the value of the length. Let us take the length as L. Let us take breadth. Let us take it as B, variable B, and we shall calculate area. Area we shall take A. Take it as A. So here, whenever we are going to write a program in second year, we shall divide it into two parts. One is the data values which should be inputted and the values which has to be calculated. In this case, length and breadth, these are the values that we are going to input, and the area is the computation. We are going to calculate area. So again, when we talk about the functions, we shall divide it into three parts. One is we will input the value. Which are the values that we are going to input? Length and breadth. Then we shall calculate, we shall compute something. What we are going to compute? We are going to compute the area A, and we shall display the value of area. So there are three functions. First function is input function, second function is compute, third function is display. For almost all the programs, we shall have three functions: input, calculate, and display. Variables length, breadth, and area. These are the two values that we are going to input, and this is the value that we are going to compute. So the name of the class is rectangle. Open the bracket. Define the access specifiers. Private. Which are the values? Int, length, breadth, and the area. We can take it as float also. We can take it as float for the real values. Then coming to the second one, public. Which are the functions that we are going to have? Input, compute, and display. We can write the functions inside the class, or we can write it outside the class. So here, void input. We shall write the functions outside the class now. input void compute void display. These are the functions, that's why we have the bracket. Then close it, close the class. We shall write the functions one by one. First function is to input the values. So what is the syntax to write the functions outside the class? Return type, class name, scope resolution operator, then comes the function. So return type is void. What is the class name? Class name is rectangle. Scope resolution operator. Function name is input. We are not going to pass the values here. Then open the flower bracket. What we need to input? Cout, enter, length and breadth, semicolon. Cin, that is length and breadth. Done. Then comes the compute. We shall write the same. What we should write? Return type, that is void. Then comes the class name, that is the rectangle. Scope resolution operator and the function name. Function name is compute. Then what we need to calculate here? We need to calculate area. A is equal to length into breadth. Close it. Because once we here length and breadth, it is available. We are not going to pass here because already we have inputted the value of length and breadth. No need to pass the values because length and breadth are available to this function compute. These are the data variables which are defined here. No need of pass it. We need not write return also here. Then the last one, void return type, void class name, rectangle, scope resolution operator and the function name, that is display. In a single statement we can write the answer. Cout area of rectangle is equal to A and close it. We have defined all three functions outside the class. It can be defined inside the class or outside the class. Since these functions are simple functions, we can define it inside the class itself. But as an example, we have written it outside the class. Now, after that, we are going to write void main. What is the next task? We have not created the object for the class. How to define an object? Class name. What is the class name? Class name is rectangle space object name. Let us write it as R. We can write any name here, is a defined name. We have defined the object R now. While defining the object R, what happens? Once we define the object, automatically, see here, this is the object. Object R we have created for the class rectangle. It will refer the class. Which are the variables that we have here? The variables that we have here are length, breadth and area, that's A. Immediately an object R will be created. Object R will be created. It's just like a box. Which are the variables of the object R? Because we have defined it for the class rectangle. In the rectangle, we can note that we have length, breadth and area, that is L, B and A. So it will have L, B and A. Of course, the values are not inputted now. It will be just a box with empty values in it. So next what we should do? We should input the values. How to input the values? Just remember the syntax. Whenever we are going to refer any of the functions here, the function directly cannot be called. Function has to be called with respect to an object. So what we should do before calculating the value, we need to input the value of length and we have to input the value of breadth. So which function has to be called? The function input has to be called. But we know that function can be called with respect to an object. Which is the object? Object is R. So we need to write R dot input. It's a function. So dot is, it is called as dot operator. Object, dot operator, function name. R is the object, dot operator, input is the function name. Now we will input the value. Any value that you are going to input, let it be 5 and 10. With the help of the function, we will input the value length and breadth. Only input part is done. Whether we have calculated? No, we have not calculated. To calculate, once again the second function compute has to be called. So how to write that? Again, same syntax, that is object name dot function name. Which is the function? That is the second function. Second function is compute. So the control will be transferred to the second function, that is compute. A is equal to L into B. Length and breadth will be multiplied and the answer will be stored in A. So here we have that box, length, breadth. This will be calculated. It will be 50. Okay, calculation part is done. What next? Next is display. So again the last function display. So we need to write R dot display. R dot display. The control will be transferred to this. Area of rectangle is A. So the 50 will be displayed. Then we are going to close the bracket. We can write get ch and close the bracket here. Of course, here there is no semicolon. Remember, we have not written the header file for this. Same header files we have to write. Which are the header files we need to write? One is hash include iostream.h, which is compulsory. Then if required, suppose you are using get ch, then we will use hash include conio.h. Now just have a look here. We have written the access specifiers, private and public. Already we have discussed the difference between the private and public. If it is private, what happens? Only inside the class we can access it. Inside the class we can access it in the sense, don't get confused, we have written it outside the class. No, it's not like that, because input is a function which is, it is a function of this class. So even if you define it outside the class, still this is a function of the class. So here it is available. Now, why we have to write private and public like this? Here also we have written the functions under public and the members under private. Because in this void main you can see we have written R dot input. Whether it is inside the class or outside the class, it is outside the class. Of course, this is, even though we have written it outside the class, but still it is a function of the class because we have declared the function there. Here we have declared the function input, compute, display. These are all the functions which belongs to this particular class rectangle. That's why we don't have any problem in that. But when we talk about the void main, here this is outside the class. Now the question is, when we write the input, we have written this, we have called this function input, but this function is called outside the class. Hope you are following it. Since it's public, what does it mean, public? Anywhere you can access those functions which are declared as public, but not private. You have to write it under public. If you have written this input under private, then it's not possible to access this particular function input. I repeat, if input is written, void input is written under private, then it's not possible to access the function input because it becomes private. Since we have written the functions under public, outside the class also we can access it. So here it's possible. Now the question is, suppose can we write before the statement, suppose we want to get the value of L, length. Is it possible to write r dot L, because whenever we want to access the value of the data member with respect to object, we have to write it. We have written the function with respect to object. Similarly, whatever data variables, that is member data, that we have defined, if we want to access those, again we have to do the same with respect to the object. Here also, is it possible to write r dot L is equal to 5? That is the question. No, here it's not possible because this L we have written under private. If it is a private, outside the class it's not possible to access. Suppose we have written L under public, then this is allowed. I repeat, if some data member is written as private, outside the class we cannot access it. If we have written L under public here, then this is allowed. Then what about the functions? Suppose we write one function under private, the other function under public. Whether it is possible to access? The functions which we have written under private cannot be directly accessed outside the class. But if there are two functions, one under public, one under private, the public function can access the private function. It becomes a nested function. Hope that's understood now. Moving to the next topic, arrays as member data. The program which we have just discussed here, we had the data members, length, breadth and area, which are primary data values. But what about the datas which are of type array? First of all, what's an array? Array is a collection of elements of the same data type that's given a single name. For example, class, example, private, colon, int n, and int mark in 6 subjects. So it becomes an array, but it is a member of this particular class. Example. It's possible to have the arrays as members of the class. Directly we shall discuss one of the program which we had last year. We shall modify it little bit. For example, suppose there is an array. If the name of the array is A, this is first element A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3 and A of 4. Let us input the values to that. 1, 3, 5, 3, 6. How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it starts from 0. That's why the last element will be n minus 1. Here there are 5 elements. 5 minus 1, so it will be 4. Let us assume that we want to find out the frequency of occurrence of an element. That means what? We want to search for an element, like how many times that particular element is present in that array. So here n is 5, the element that we want to search, let it be 3. It can be any value. That element may be there or it may not be there. What we want to do? We want to search for this particular element 3, whether the element is there or not. If at all it is there, how many times that particular element is present. So how to write the program, or how to define the variables, and how to write the functions. Let's try to understand the program once again. First of all, how many elements are there? There are some n elements. We want to enter the elements of the array. Random values we will enter, like A0, A1, A2, A3, A4. In this case, that's 5. And we will enter one element, ELE. In this case, it's 3. We want to search for 3. How many times that particular element is present. So we want to store the final answer that it's present so many times. Let us take it as frequency. Frequency means how many times that particular element get repeated. So we need to calculate frequency. Now the question is, which are the variables and which are the functions? Functions, of course, as we have discussed in the previous example, one is to input, second one is to calculate, third one is to display. Variables, one is n, other one is ELE, third one is frequency. So we shall write the program. Let us take the class frequency. Access specifiers private colon int, one is n, the other one is a of 100 we shall write. I will explain it. Then comes ELE, one more is frequency. N and A of 100, why it is? Because once we declare, we are going to declare that 100 elements we are going to enter. At the maximum we can have 100, or we can write it as 50, no problem. But even though we have written 100, when we enter the values, when we execute the program, all 100 values we are not going to input. We are going to input n values. What may be the value of n? N can be anything starting from 1 to 100. In general, some 5, 6, 10, like that. When you run the program, the value you have to input. Then comes public. Which are the functions? 3 functions. One is input. You can write it as getData also. It's left to you. Void input. Second one will be void compute. Third one will be void display. Then close the class. In this case, can we write the functions inside the class? Here we have to write it outside the class, because here we have the array values. Array values in the sense we have the iteration, for loop we have. Wherever we are having the for loop, we have to write it outside the class. Now we shall write the first function. So return type is void. Function name, before that class name we have to write frequency. Then comes scope resolution operator, then input. Input is the function name. Then cout enter value of n, C in n. I will repeat, the value of n we have to enter because it's not 100 every time. We are reserving 100 spaces for it. But out of 100 values, 100 spaces, we are not going to enter all the values. Some n values, n value can be any value starting from 1 to 100. Then Cout enter elements of array. Since it is an array, what we need to write? For int I is equal to 0. We have not declared this I here under private because this is the way of writing the program, because I is not the data variable of the object. I is just used for the loop, for the iteration. That's why I is equal to 0, I lesser than n, starting from 0 till n minus 1. That's why I less than n. It's not less than or equal, less than n, I plus plus. What we should do? We have to input C in. What's the array name? Array name is A. What is the subscript? I. Initially it will be A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, etc., A of n minus 1. Then, how many values? Those values from 0 to 1 value less, we are going to input the values. Then, once we have inputted the value of the array, what is the next step? We have to search for an element. That's why Cout enter element to search. What is that? That is C in ELE, element to be searched. That's about the input part. What about the computation part? How to search for it? 5 values we had inputted in our example, starting from A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, and A of 4. Sum 2, 3, 7, 2, 3 again. Let it be some 4. So what to do here? How to compute it? Again, let's write the function name. Return type is void. What is the class name? Class name is frequency. Scope resolution operator. Then comes the function name, that is compute. Inside the class, where the answer has to be stored? Answer has to be stored in the variable frequency. So we shall write frequency is equal to 0. Don't define it once again. We are clearing the memory of frequency. If you write int frequency is equal to 0, the variable is created twice. That will be even though we won't get the error, we won't get the answer properly. That's why just clear the memory of frequency. Then how to search? The element, if in our example, suppose the element that we want to search is 3, that 3 is, we are going to compare that 3 with each element. So the array here is A of I in general. Initially it will be A of 0, then A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4. So 3 is compared with the 2, whether they are equal? No. Then 3 is compared with the 3, they are equal. In that case, the variable frequency has to be incremented by 1. Initially it will be 0. Then after that again 3 will be compared with the 7, whether they are equal? No. Then 3 will be compared with 4, again they are not equal. Then 3 is compared with the 3, they are equal. Again the frequency has to be, that is this variable has to be incremented by 1. So wherever A of I is equal to this 3, which is ELE. If A of I is equal to ELE, that is if A of I is equal to ELE, double equal, it's not single equal, then we have to increment the variable frequency by 1. From where we have to start? We have to start from this location. This location is what? 0. So this is the index A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4. In general, it is A of I starting from 0 till n minus 1 or till lesser than n. That's why what we have to write? We will write a loop here for I is equal to, we shall write it as int I again. I repeat, we are not going to declare I as a data member of the class. We are going to define it inside the function itself or along with the loop. Int I is equal to 0 till where? I lesser than n, that is up to n minus 1. Up to n minus 1. What we should do? Every time after comparing, we should increment it. So what is the comparison? Floor bracket. If A of I square bracket is equal to, that is double equal, it's not single equal, for what? ELE. If A of I is equal to ELE, what should be done? Frequency has to be incremented. Frequency plus plus. What is the meaning of frequency plus plus? Meaning is frequency is equal to frequency plus 1. That's all. Then close this function here. Here inside the loop we are having only one statement, so it's not mandatory to have this particular floor bracket. Even if you don't write, it's okay. We can write. If you are comfortable with that, you can write, or else you can leave it. Now coming to the last part. Last part in the sense, last function, void frequency scope resolution operator display. What we can write? If the value gets repeated, it won't be 0. At least suppose 3 is repeated only once, the value of frequency will be 1. If it is present twice, the value of frequency will be 2. So in general, it will be greater than 0 if the element is present. That's why we can write if frequency greater than 0, Cout element is present, else Cout element does not exist. If you want, you can write the variable here. Element is present, frequency times, we can write present. If you want that variable, frequency times, and close it. Then we have to write the void main. Void main, of course header files we have to write in the beginning, that we have not written. Void main. What is the name of the class? It's frequency. So we shall write frequency EF. Then one by one we shall call the functions. First is EF dot input. First function will be called. All the values which we need are inputted. Then I will write it here, F dot compute. And the last one will be F dot display. Get ch we can write and close it. So here we have seen how to input the arrays as member data. It's also possible to have the array of objects, that is array of objects. Array of objects. How it is different in that case? When we declare the variable, in this case when we declare the object here, see here in this case we have created the object only one. Suppose we want to create many objects like f1, f2, f3. We can write f1, f2, f3, etc., etc. Or if you want some 3 objects or 10 objects, it is possible to write f of 10. In that case, the objects become an array. So for example, frequency f of 3. Now what happens? We have 3 objects, f0, f1 and f2. I hope the difference is understood between the members, objects as an array, or the class having the members as an array. That's all about this particular objects and classes. Thank you.